No, I'm not freaking crazy. Let me explain this a little bit. Let me cut this off. I like how that just kind of wobbles when it stops. Anyway, well, I was using this little thing, and it kept overheating, and I had to put a fan on it. Finally, I broke down and just installed a little fan on there. Well, it worked for a while, and then it died. Well, you can, yeah, the windings on it burn out, and even more over here. And it just stopped running and started making a horrible burning smell. And I hadn't had that for too long. I mean, smart reloader kind of left me down. The little thing worked good when it did work. I mean, so I moved up to this Frankfort Arsenal behemoth here. Found a few problems with it right off the bat. One, it rattled a lot. Well, I put some tape around here, just black electrical tape, and I ran it around on the outside and then rolled it over on the inside. Basically what I did is make a gasket for it so it wouldn't rattle. Now, it was good. This rod goes all the way down through and there's nothing to cover it, so I just wrapped some tape around it. I was just going to get some kind of little hose or just leave the tape on it, because your brass would beat up against that, like, it made a lot of noise, and I don't know if it was good or bad for the brass or what. But then the next problem, I'd add a lot of media to it. Now, I only had it about half full, and they say that fill it like 2/3 up or more, or something like that. And but I noticed when I had a bunch of 9mm brass in there, and it would collect along the sides and stand up on end and just sit there and dance. I probably didn't have enough media in it. I do like 100 batches of stuff. Sometimes I'll put like 200, 300, 400 of 9mm in there. But honestly, especially with like my rifle stuff, I try to keep the cases together. So I use 100 batches to do that. And then I figured out this little smart reloader top here. Hold on, I gotta set you guys down here for a second. Okay, there we go. Can't get it off with one hand. Anyway, I like the smart reloader's tumbler because it has a rubber seal in there, and it does like 125 223, or well, probably about 50 or so, 30-06. It's still supposed to do 309mm. But what I like about it is it uses a lot less media. So a bag of media will refill me like 5-6 times instead of once. So I had a brainstorm. I put some electrical tape on the bottom of this bowl so it wouldn't like rub through. I took the washer that came with the smart reloader bowl, put it down on there. Now they bolted on differently, but this rod screws into the bottom of the Frankfort Arsenal drum. So I just forced it down over. It actually fit. It was a little tight, but not too bad. And then I put a locking washer on it, so that's held in the bottom. It may be a little awkward dumping it out when you get your brass out, but it does agitate very well. I am very happy with how that works. I can use less media and do stuff in small batches. I don't have to mix a bunch of my brass together, because you don't want to mix once fired range finds with 5 times fired Lake City or Remington or Winchester. That I don't want to get them mixed in, because then you don't know, well, this has been fired once or 5 times. Is it near? Does it need to be annealed, or is it near its lifetime, or So for me, a smaller tumbler makes sense because, you know, yeah, I can't throw my tractor in there and get it shined up, but the thing is, I can take, I think there's a little over 100 of these. These is Winchester 9mm glass. I was just tumbling, getting them freshed up. I clean the primer pockets in these, and I'll go back through and then I'll trim them to length and chamfer and deburr them and polish anything that needs. No, I'm so what I'm talking about. Anyway, sorry, but yeah, I like the smaller bowl, so I just mounted it inside the Frankfort Arsenal bowl, and but like I said, I love the smaller bowl, and the smart reloader. It snaps together, and then it did have a plastic nut on there, but they're different sizes, so it didn't readily fit on there. So I just used some I think it's closed cell foam, come out some packaging or something. And when I tighten it down, I just make sure that the top is no longer loose, and then it doesn't rattle as much. And not really very noisy. I like to seal on it because I do this down in my basement in my reloading room, so I always try to watch out, don't want to get a lot of dust out into the house. Anyway, I did on the other video, and I thought that I should explain that to you. That's why I got a smart reloader drum inside of my Frankfort Arsenal drum. I can always take it apart. It's just one little nut off of there and pull it out, and I can dump a lot of media in here and do a large batch or something, you know, if I wanted to. But for now, you know, it just saves some media and stuff, saves a little money. It helps me do my little batches, like, you know, I like to keep the rest. Anyway, y'all have a nice day. Talk to you later.